In the previous section, we looked at how the reward function fits into the scheme of things. It is the piece of code that determines and returns the reward value. In order to calculate an appropriate reward, you need information about the state of the agent and perhaps even the environment. These are provided to you by the AWS DeepRacer system in the form of input parameters. In other words, they are parameters for input into your reward function. There are over 20 parameters available for use, but for this example, we are just going to focus on two: track width, which provides the width of the track, and distance from center, which provides the agent's distance in meters from the track's center. These parameters are used by the reward function. A reward function is simply a piece of code which uses the input parameters to do some calculations and then output a number, which is the reward. In this example, we want to incentivize the agent to follow the center line of the track and issue higher rewards for the closer it stays to the center line. The reward function is written in Python as a standard function, but it must be called reward_function with a single parameter, which is a Python dictionary containing all the input parameters provided by the AWS DeepRacer system. We access our two input parameters from the params dictionary and assign their values to local variables. This just makes it easier to use them later in the function. Next, we use the track width to divide the track into 3 zones, assigning each zone to a variable called marker. Marker 1 is quite close to the center of the track, marker 2 is further out, and marker 3 is even further out. Finally, we use the distance from center together with the markers to issue rewards based upon how close the agent is to the center of the track. If it is very close, in the zone denoted by marker 1, then we issue the highest reward, in this case a 1.0. If it is in a further out zone denoted by marker 2, then we issue a smaller reward, in this case 0.5. If it's in the widest zone denoted by marker 3, then we issue the smallest reward, in this case 0.1. Finally, if it's not even in the widest zone, then it's likely the agent has crashed or gone off track. So we issue the smallest possible reward, which is 1e minus 3, which is actually 0.001. But we usually use 1e minus 3 to denote the smallest possible reward. The final line then returns the issued reward to the AWS DeepRacer system. So that's how the reward function works. It's really up to you about how you code the reward function to issue rewards based on the state represented by the input parameters. You can mix and match input parameters and use as many or as few as you like, and you should experiment to see what works best for training your model.